This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 762. 3 Things I Hate, but Still Do Every Day. Part 1, by John Romaniello of RomanFitnessSystems.com. And I'm Dr. Neil. Hey there, happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I read to you every day from health and fitness blogs, with permission from the websites, of course. And then on Fridays, I answer your questions. And a big thank you to Carbona for their support. They've been helping people live life unstained for more than a century. From carpet cleaners, specialty stain removers, pet stain and odor removers, and more, you can get the job done fully, quickly, and easily. Want to start living your life unstained? Shop Carbona.com with code OHD for 20% off your order. That's CARBONA.com and the code OHD. And with that, let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. 3 Things I Hate, but Still Do Every Day. Part 1, by John Romaniello of RomanFitnessSystems.com. We've all got things we don't like, and some things we even hate. For the most part, these are things that just don't jive with our worldview or our tastes. A movie or a type of music, a political or social issue, a type of food or drink. And those things are largely matters of taste. And to be fair, if you don't like them, stay away. But when it comes to activities, most of the time we hate things for the wrong reasons. Most of the time, we don't hate doing these things because of how we feel about them. We hate them because of how they make us feel about ourselves. For example, if you made a list called Activities I Hate and another called Things I'm Bad At, you would notice a lot of crossover. It makes sense. We're bad at things we dislike because we avoid them and don't practice them. So we never get better at them. What you don't realize is that it's actually the other way around. You aren't bad at them because you avoid them. You avoid them because you're bad at them. Going a level deeper, we tell ourselves that you hate the activity. In reality, we hate being bad at it. If you're bad at something, you'll feel badly about being bad at it. So, you avoid the activity to avoid the feeling you get from being bad at it. As a result, you never get better at it. The next time you have to do that activity, you're just as bad, if not worse, and you hate the feeling even more. This is called a negative feedback loop. We've all got them, but for different activities. And for the most part, they don't impact our lives in any meaningful way. I've got a negative feedback loop with basketball. I suck at it and hate sucking at it, so I just don't play, etc., etc., etc. Not playing basketball has zero effect on my life. I'm sure you've got things like that. Maybe you hate dancing because you're a bad dancer. Outside of weddings, that's not even going to register. Maybe you hate skiing because you're a bad skier. Doesn't really matter since snow-covered mountains are pretty easy to avoid. But there are some things we avoid that are good for us. Things we should be doing, even if we hate them because we're bad at them. Things we should take the time to practice and improve at because being good at them is going to make our lives better or improve our health or help us in other ways. And if you practice these things long enough, you'll stop sucking at them and you might just stop hating them. You know what I'm talking about. Chances are you didn't always love working out, and just about everyone is pretty bad at it when they start out. You did it because you knew it would help you hit your goals. Along the way, you developed skills and stopped hating it because you were no longer bad at it. In other words, you crossed the proficiency threshold. This is the point at which you develop enough skill to detach from the negative emotion brought about by being bad at something, and you begin to objectively assess whether you actually enjoy it. But that's something you need to work on, especially if you know the activity is something you need to be doing. And that leads me into a quick group of things I am personally working on. 3 things I hate because I'm bad at them, but do every day. Like anyone else, I have stuff that I avoid because I'm bad at it, which makes me dislike it. Unfortunately, I have a habit of avoiding things I know are very good for me and things I need to be doing. I'm working on changing this, so I'm currently doing these things every day. 1. Meditation. This is the easiest and most obvious one, so I'll start here. Man, I suck at meditation. I've avoided it for years. even though I know it's great for concentration, creativity, happiness, all the things I need more of in my life. And still, I avoided it because I hated how bad I was at it. Something that has comforted me is the realization that everyone kind of sucks at meditation because it's hard. I'm probably worse than most people, but still. I actually wrote an entire article about this, so I won't repeat myself here. But at some point, I decided that I needed the benefits more than I needed to avoid feeling stupid for being bad at it. So I dove in. Now, I meditate for 10 to 15 minutes every morning. I use a few apps to help me. One is called Headspace. The other is called Sphere, which is newer. I've been doing this for several months now. And guess what? I'm still horrible at it, but I'm not as horrible as I used to be. And I've definitely seen drastic improvement in concentration and discipline. You absolutely need to be meditating, and you can do it in just 10 to 15 minutes. To be continued. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, 3 Things I Hate, But Still Do Every Day, by John Romaniello of RomanFitnessSystems.com. And as promised, I'll finish the rest up tomorrow. But a big thank you to Carbona. A stain-free and clean home is something to be proud about, but it's hard to maintain when you're using cleaning products that don't work well or take forever to use. Cue Carbona, a household brand that has turned their decades of cleaning expertise into products that get the job done fully, quickly, and easily. When I heard about stain devils, my stain removing game was changed. Think about this. If you have a chocolate stain, it wouldn't make sense to treat it with a formula that removes wine. They're chemically different. Knowing this, Carbona created specific stain removers for specific stain types. Genius, right? Beyond stain removers, they have highly efficient products for your laundry, carpets, and washing machine. Want to start living your life unstained? Shop Carbona.com with code OHD for 20% off your order. That's CARBONA.com and the code OHD. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. At the end of yesterday's episode, I went on a tangent about my personal life and how my path to where I am now wasn't always the straightest line. There were a lot of curves in the road on my way to where I am now. One of the things I mentioned was how I didn't used to like working out. And so when John was talking about how when we first start working out, we may not like it and we probably are terrible at it, that was me. In the beginning, when I first started getting into resistance training, I think I weighed 115 pounds, and when I tried to do a bench press with the barbell, I don't think I could lift the bar off my chest. That's how bad I was. But I was lucky enough to have a buddy who pushed me forward. He kept me accountable. He had more experience with resistance training. His dad happened to be a former amateur bodybuilder in Poland. And so my friend helped me a lot. But that's not to say he didn't laugh when he first saw me try and lift the bar off my chest and see me fail miserably at it. I don't think he knew just how weak I was. And so people will sometimes ask me, well, how did you get into this? How did you get into working out? Well, it wasn't easy, and I definitely didn't like it to begin with, and I definitely was terrible at it. Oh, and I'm with John on this one too. I'm terrible at sitting still and trying to meditate. I find going for a jog or being on the row machine or stationary bike, I find that more meditative than anything else. But it's something that I know is good for me, and so I think John has convinced me to get back into meditation and see if I can conquer that. All right, that'll do it for today. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here every day. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where we'll finish up this post and where your optimal life awaits.